dive deeper into astrocytes, one of the support cells in the CNS. And I'm going to be taking information from two papers. First, Astrocytes in Multiple Sclerosis by Ludwin et al., which explains astrocytes' role in multiple sclerosis progression. And then the second one, Function and Therapeutic Value of Astrocytes in Neurological Diseases by Lee et al., which discusses basically how astrocytes contribute to neurological disorders and are potential drug targets. So first, let's just get a basic knowledge on astrocytes. They are a star-shaped glial cell, and they're found all throughout the central nervous system. And they perform four major functions. So they regulate neurotransmitters by preventing excessive excitation. That an excessive excitation is one of the main causes of neuronal damage. They form the blood-brain. They're one of the components, I should say, of the blood-brain barrier, which controls the passage of substances into the brain. They help in neuroprotection and repair. They release growth factors to help neurons survive. And they also have roles in the immune defense, basically responding to infections and injuries in the CNS. And then the astrocyte, as you can see in this image, is a little star-shaped guy. It's providing energy, antioxidant defense to the neuron. It uptakes neurotransmitters. Yeah, they're pretty cool. And so where are astrocytes? They're everywhere in the CNS, but their function depends on where they are located. Protoplasmic astrocytes are in the gray matter, fibrous astrocytes are in the white matter, and then astrocytes also help maintain the blood-brain barrier, as I said previously. But one thing to know about astrocytes is because of their location-based diversity, they can have both protective and harmful roles in the brain, which I'll get into. So the major responsibilities of astrocytes in the nervous system is they maintain the blood-brain barrier, as I've mentioned. Astrocytes regulate the tight junctions of the blood-brain barrier, basically controlling what substances can or cannot enter the brain. And they also remove excess glutamate, so that prevents excitotoxicity, which is linked to numerous neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and ALS. The list goes on. Astrocytes also release brain-derived neurotrophic factors, such as BDNF and insulin-like growth factor 1, IGF-1, to help support neurons. And they can release both pro- and anti-inflammatory molecules, influencing conditions like multiple sclerosis, which is what I'll dive into. So, as I just mentioned, one of the most significant diseases involving astrocytes is multiple sclerosis, a neuroinflammatory disorder that damages the myelin sheath surrounding neurons. As you can see in the image, in acute MS, astrocytes attempt to repair damage by recruiting oligodendrocytes, another one of the support cells in the central nervous system, and oligodendrocytes are responsible for myelination. So, astrocytes can actually help in multiple sclerosis in that aspect, but in chronic multiple sclerosis, astrocytes contribute to neuroinflammation by producing pro-inflammatory cytokines, worsening the damage. And over time, this leads to the formation of what is known as a glial scar, which limits further damage as it's scar tissue, but it also prevents axonal regrowth, basically just contributing to the neurodegeneration and making MS more progressive, more debilitating. So this is why astrocytes are a therapeutic target for many drugs. And one of the major drugs that targets astrocytes is called fingolimod, which is Glial. It is a FDA-approved drug primarily used to treat multiple sclerosis. Its mechanism is basically it targets sphingosine 1-phosphate receptors, and these receptors regulate astrocyte and immune cell activity. So by the drug binding to these receptors, it prevents immune cells from infiltrating the CNS, reducing inflammation, obviously. And then fingolimod also suppresses excessive astrocyte activation, which limits blood-brain barrier disruption and neuronal damage. And yeah, these are my references. Thank you.